Hi, this is Javin Kharor, a chemical engineer by profession, going to continue our today's topic, gas chromatography. Now, what is that? What is gas chromatography? Gas chromatography is an analytical technique to separate identified components in a volatile sample to determine their presence and absence. It is the most commonly used compound. They are past boiling point, room temperature, or have molecular weight less than 1250 Da. What are type of gas chromatography? There are two main type of gas chromatography: gas liquid chromatography and gas solid chromatography. Gas liquid chromatography involves mixing small sample size volatile compound and gaseous mobile phase can be passed through non-volatile liquid stationary phase. Gas solid chromatography is when the stationary phase is solid. This method separates compound using absorption so has much longer retention than gas liquid chromatography. How does gas chromatography work? Gas chromatography use can inert and unreactive carrier gas, the mobile phase, typical helium or nitrogen. This gas transport a volatile sample through a long, narrower column. Inside a column, a stationary phase, usually thin layer of liquid or polymer facilitate separation sample component. In the mobile phase involves separate mixture in the individual component allow the identification one by one. Less volatile molecule move slower through stationary phase while more volatile molecule travel faster. Helium can preferred gas for many years due to the rising cost. Laboratory are exploring alternative like nitrogen which is less expensive but result in slower chromatography. Now hydrogen increasingly being used mobile phase due to its low cost and effective chromatographic property making it variable alternative. Helium laboratory hydrogen generate or produce demand and it's safely located laboratory environment eliminating the pressurized storage. The stationary phase usually made silicon and their chemical selectively attract the specific molecule depending on component suspected in a sample. Gas chromatography method preparation. The began the gaseous mobile phase is the pass through molecular sieve to remove any contaminant like hydrocarbon, water vapor or oxygen. They are present. The data give the inaccurate analysis of compound in a question. Now, compound sample mixed with volatile sample and solvent with heptane, acetone, methanol. It is injected in the column. At this stage, sample is kept 20 degrees centigrade to minus 50 degrees centigrade. Hotter the column increases volatility before it passes through it. The column. The sample is passed the column by gas stream and separation will occur. This is also known component illuminating. The column temperature gas chromatography is very high 150 degrees centigrade to 300 degrees centigrade to encourage volatility and relatively long compact type of chromatography such as liquid chromatography. PEG column made of glass and metal. The column are roughly 1 to 3 meter long and 2 to 4 meter diameter. They are filled with small particles coated with thin layer in high molecular weight polymer like diatomaceous earth, fluorocarbon, graphite carbon, black and glass pads. Capillary column made glass, fused silica. These columns are much longer between 10 meter or 100 meter long with a small internal diameter 0.1 to 1 mm. The inner column is coated with thin layer stationary phase so the molecule can come into contact with wall of tubing. The detector. Now, the sample will exit the column and reach the detector. Where the component sample are identified based on longitude for each component pass through it. One of the most common type detector flame ionization detector. The flame ionized sample evaluate which learn release electron and cause electric current. Detector measure current to identify molecule present. This type of deflection chromatograph will be peak the current increases. Area underneath peak indicate concentration of the molecule present. Another commonly used detector thermal conductivity detector TCD. This response changes thermal conductivity and specific heat when molecule pass through detector this carrier gas and change in thermal conductivity which causes peak gas chromatography. Now advantage and disadvantage gas chromatography. Gas chromatography offers significant advantage, particular ability to identify unknown substances, volatile compound, however resilience on volatility. Present disadvantage, it is effective analyze non-volatile substance. Now, what are advantage of chromatography? They are one of the primary benefit of gas chromatography is capacity enhanced understanding various compounds, include their chemical structure, concentration, behavior under different environment conditions. Now, broad applicability. With a diverse range of the available detector, gas chromatography power predicted increasingly versatile. This is applicability allowed utilized to numerous applications mentioned above. Now, exceptional efficiency and quick result. Gas chromatography efficiency is separating complex mixture enable the detection even trace amount of substance, making it especially valuable in environment that require high throughput. Dependability. The property and properly calibrated gas chromatography system operate continuous extend period, ensure consistent performance and minimum downtime. It is also very robust technique, can alongside other techniques like mass spectrometry. Accurate measure. Fine. Gas chromatography is a very reliable method identify substance. It is based fundamental property substance. Question result easily recapped. Now, disadvantage of gas chromatography. A significant drawback of gas chromatography requirement sample, volatile and thermally stable. It is not reliable method for non-volatile substance. Gas chromatography primary focus small molecule, making it unsuitable for larger biomolecule and macromolecule. Now, maintenance need equipment maintained properly. It is lead to analysis getting stuck in the column and gas leak that affect carrier gases. Both the issue result not give accurate analysis. However, issue rectified with regular method. Chromatography runs continuously in a 3-minute cycle. Two valves are used to switch test gas into sample loop. After filling the sample loop with the test gas, valves are switched again, applying carrier gas pressure to the sample loop and forcing sample through column for separation. The device was convinced, built by the scientists Dave Godfrey and Buster, continuously running instrument use, mud logging industries. The method is collection, condition with gas chromatography operate, given analysis, method level, process, determine what conditions are adequate and ideal analysis required. Condition can vary accordingly. A required analysis include inlet temperature, detector temperature, column temperature, temperature program, carrier gas flow rate, column stationary phase, diameter, length, inlet type, flow rate, sample size, injection technique, depending on detector, install gas chromatography. There are number of detector conditions can also vary. Some of the gas chromatography include one, which can change sample, carrier flow, timing, opening and closing the bulk and important method of development. Sample size and injection technique. Real chromatography analysis start introduce sample on the column. The development capillary gas chromatography result. Many practical problems. Injection technique. The technique on column injection often use packed column. It is usually possible. Capillary column. Injection system capillary gas chromatography amount injected should not overload the column. The width of injected plug should be small and compare the spreading due to chromatographic process. Failure comply later requirement will reduce separation capability of the column. General rule: volume injected and volume of the detector cell about 1/10 volume occupied portion of sample contain molecule of interest analytical. They exit the column. Some of the general requirements good injection technique should fulfill. They are: it should be possible optimum column separation efficiency. It should allow accurate and reproducible injection, small amount of representative example. They should induce no changes in sample composition. It should exhibit discrimination based on differences in boiling point, polarity, concentration, thermal catalytic stability. They should be applicable to stress analysis as well as undiluted sample. However, there are number of problems inherent use of the synergy of the injection. Even best synergy are claim accuracy only 3%. Unskilled hand error much larger. Needle may be our small pieces rubber from the spectrum injected sample through it. This can block and needle to prevent the syringe filling next time it is used. It is obvious it has happened. Fraction of the sample can get trapped in the rubber to be released during subsequent injection. This can give rise cost peak in the chromatograph. This can selective loss more volatile component of the sample evaporation from tip of needle. Gas chromatography open in a capillary column. Gas chromatography contain oven, the temperature at which precisely control electronically when temperature of the column analytical technique referring temperature of the column oven. The distinction, however, it is not important. Rate at which sample pass through column is directly proportional temperature of the column. Higher the column temperature, faster the sample move through column. However, faster the sample move through the column, less it interact stationary phase and less analytical are separated. In general, the temperature is selected compromise between the length of the analysis and level of separation. Method hold column same temperature. Entire analysis is called isothermal. Most methods, however, increase column temperature during analysis. Initial temperature rate, temperature increases, the temperature ramp and final temperature are called temperature program. A temperature program allows analytical that evaluate early analysis to separate adequately while shortening time it takes large analysis to pass through the column. Applications. In general, substance the vaporize below 300 degrees centigrade. Therefore, stabler the temperature can be measured quantitatively. The sample are also required salt-free. They cannot contain iron. Very minute amount of substance can be measured. It is often required. The sample must measure in comparison. The sample contain pure suspected substance known as reference sample. Various temperature program can be made reading more meaningful. For example, difference between substance and behave similarity during the gas chromatography process. Okay guys, this is up to our today's topic, gas chromatography. I hope you get sufficient knowledge after watching this video. Next Sunday we have covered some another chemical engineering topics. Till then, goodbye. Do take good care of yourself.